Hey, Tim.
Hey, Greg.
Man, that was a fun car drive.
Got that Latch-Key Dads May of 1986 playlist just cranked.
Blaring out the window. I got the girls, the hotties looking at me. I'm driving by with my arm out the window.
It's the Mr. Mister.
It's the Mr. Mister that really draws them in.
Oh, that is funny. Oh.
Well, here we are, part 2 of May of 1986, the pinnacle of civilization.
Yeah, it's a big month in the history of planet Earth.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Physically, mentally, everything for me has just been sliding down since May of 1986. Oh, that's funny.
So this is part 2. If you didn't listen to part 1, go listen to part 1, where we talk about events
and music
of May of 86, and now we're here to finish the month out.
And we are still really working on, I know those of you who heard the first part of this episode, David Gock, who was the man who swam 55,000 miles in his 25-yard pool. We are still actively working on getting that interview to get you all of the details.
Yes.
How did he do it? All of the specifics. We're going to make that happen.
And if we can't get him, we'll get Reginald, the guy who floated in water for 41 days. We're going to get one of the two.
Yes. Or the heir to the 95-year-old woman who got a hole-in-one in Florida.
Gotta find her.
She's now 135 years old. Anyway, on that note, on to movies, right?
On to movies. And there were not a ton, but some pretty good ones.
Yeah, heavy hitters, without a doubt.
Yeah. I think we did mention a couple of them in the events section, but let's talk a little deeper.
All right. For me, at that age, Short Circuit was definitely, that movie was amazing. I just loved it.
Loved it.
But I think there was, I found, I think you did too, there were some things about the movie, like how it was made, some fun facts. Obviously, we didn't know back then.
No, yeah.
So it was kind of fun to go through that. So you want to kind of go through some of the things we found?
Absolutely, yeah. So the movie starred Ali Sheedy and Steve Guttenberg, who was a huge 80s star. Yes, you heard me right. And so some fun facts. Well, let's give a synopsis. Maybe somebody doesn't know the movie.
Sure.
So Short Circuit is about military robots used for destruction, and one gets struck by lightning. Is I think how it happened?
and I'll throw one little fact in about that,
please.
because the director producers, they were trying to come up with do we want to have some fun way for him to become alive? And the lightning bolt is sort of the classic go-to.
Yeah. Frankenstein's monster. And
yeah. But they're like, can we do something that's more original, a little bit different? And so the two other ideas that they had were that one of them was that aliens come to Earth and he somehow gets zapped by some alien ray or something. It's too weird. It adds too much extra
alien
non-realistic things to the plot line. And then the other one was sort of, it would kind of take from RoboCop, that one of them was like, well, what if we have it that a human gets mechanized, and all that's really left is his brain, and one of them was like, that's just too gruesome,
too dark.
It's more of a family kids movie that. So they just went back to the original idea, which was the Struck by Lightning.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
so there was a whole bunch of them. They all had numbers, and this was number 5. Got struck by lightning, and he became sentient. He escaped the military lab and finds Ali Sheedy, starts dancing, and he's alive. And basically, after a whole, Steve Guttenberg is the scientist, right? Isn't he the scientist at the military lab? Wasn't that his role?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Something like that. And then, of course, Johnny Five gets and they all live happily ever after.
Of course, yeah. She gives him a kiss.
And then you get the idea. It's an 80s movie.
Yeah.
So my first fact is that they made 5 Johnny number 5s, and the 5th one actually did Short Circuit. Yeah. And it got fried. Whatever happened, its circuits got melted.
Yeah, I saw the same thing, and that in the end, when they used that one to figure out some of the electronics of it, that weren't working, and that became the most reliable of them through the rest of the filming. So I thought that was kind of cool too. That Short Circuit, Johnny 5, it was number 5 who actually short circuited. Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. I saw that when they were designing, the character of the robot, they wanted it to look like it was 50 to 100 years into the future, of like technology.
Oh.
And it's kind of interesting 40 years ahead now to look at like we are at a point where they're building robots that have AI in them that are somewhat able to do these things. And how much like in a way some of them have similarities to what they visualized 40 years ago, and in other ways like not at all.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just sort of wild that was their vision 40 to 100 years in the future, and here we are now 40 years later looking at it. So,
and I would imagine, I probably know the movie. I've seen it a lot, right? But the way how well designed it was, it's not like if I were to look at it now, it could be now.
Yeah.
Like it's not one of those movies where you look back and like, oh, that's so dated.
Yeah.
It's pretty realistic, like the way the treads and the way the arms and everything. I don't know, that was pretty good, pretty well done. It wasn't dated at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and to that end, I think I read something that they were going to do stop motion to create the motion of it.
Oh, okay.
And then for various reasons, they decided to not go that direction and actually build something that I think it took a dozen people to move all of the different things.
Oh, okay.
And then when they did like the Three Stooges scene, they had to add 6 more people to each one of the robots to like do all of this stuff, and it was like pure chaos because most these extra people had no training. They're just like, here, take this controller and do something. But yeah, I thought it was cool that they did actually build functional.
Yes.
Obviously not autonomous, but just functional things, and so that was kind of cool.
I do wish the movies would go back to more practical effects.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, we've talked about it a bunch.
Yeah.
It's just feels so much more real.
The sound effect for Johnny Number 5's laser is the exact same sound used for the proton packs in Ghostbusters.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. I thought this was kind of funny because it reminds me of the Terminator. There's the scene where the liquid Terminator has multiple arms in the helicopter.
Yeah, I remember that.
So in Short Circuit, there's a scene where he's making breakfast for Stephanie that he has a third arm, just briefly.
Okay.
And I couldn't figure out, I couldn't find out if that was like intentional or if it was just like accidental that they
That's interesting.
did that to like have him be able to do whatever thing he was doing and hoping that people wouldn't notice that they threw a third arm in there. But I thought it was kind of funny that they actually did that.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Johnny had 3 arms?
Yeah.
Cool. While this film is set in New York, it was actually filmed in Astoria, Oregon, home of the Goonies.
Nice. That's pretty cool. I saw that there was the original plan was to have him, because he was a military robot, actually have him painted in camo, and then like the Arctic white, for some of the scenes where he's doing, or the other robots were doing military kind of things, but they just completely abandoned that. But then I guess in the sequel, this Short Circuit 2, they did actually paint him in pink camo, which I don't remember because Short Circuit 2 I might have saw once and don't really remember it that well. But that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting. All right, my next item up was the film was the top home video rental of 1987 and grossed $100 million worldwide.
Wow, that's pretty solid.
It's kind of funny too that it took 2 years or a year. Remember back then, like movies took forever to come out on VHS, and now they're on streaming.
Sometimes while they're still in
theaters.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
They got to learn from that, man.
Yeah.
They got to stop that.
So I thought this was pretty wild. There was a movie by Wes Craven called The Deadly Friend. I don't know
that one.
I don't either, but the part of the premise of the movie was that there was a killer robot, and he actually used the chassis of Johnny 5, like the mechanics of it. He used that for the movie.
The real Johnny 5 was it in a horror movie?
Yeah. Now, obviously, they removed all the stuff that made him look like Johnny 5, but the functional part of it, the chassis they used.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So there's an evil version out there.
All right, and my last one, and this one I found out years ago, and I didn't remember until I was doing a little research on this movie, and then I remembered the Indian actor is not Indian.
Yeah.
It's played by a white guy named Fisher Stevens.
Yeah.
And he went and studied for the part. Like he went to India, he studied yoga, he immersed himself in Indian culture to prepare for this part. I could not tell.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, I was like, it's an Indian guy. Like I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, I read the same thing, and originally he was cast and then fired,
Oh,
and they brought in Bronson Pinchot from Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers, yeah.
And then he got fired, and
Oh, wow.
they brought Fisher Stevens back, and he he did like the whole method acting thing, like you said,
Yeah.
and to the point where when the film came out, there were actually Indian people
Audience.
who thought he was this other Bollywood actor whose name is escaping me, and that actor actually had to put out a statement that no, it is not me.
He looked that much like him.
That he looked so much like this other actor. Yeah, so it was pretty wild that he was that effective in that role.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I got. You got any more cool facts?
I think the only other thing I saw that was kind of fun was that they had created various heads for him that had the different like expressions and stuff like that. So like there's one where his eyes are like kind of like bugging out, where he's chasing the grasshopper, and then there's the scene where Stephanie is, he sees her undressed and he's like, ah. But they had 5 different heads with the different expression, or more effective versions of his eyes and stuff like that would illustrate the expression they were trying to communicate. So I thought that was kind of neat.
I always remember that he had like eyebrows. It was like the little flaps that were supposed to... But in essence, they were eyebrows that really gave him the emotions.
Yeah, the creativity behind some of the choices they made with the additional flaps and all that kind of stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah. Well, great movie. If you have not seen Short Circuit, go
check it out.
Yeah. So the next great big movie of May of 1986, which, I think every person has seen, is Tom Cruise's Top Gun.
Yep. Very cool.
I love that movie.
So what's your first
fun? I got a couple of facts for Top Gun. Everything in this movie was filmed 100% practical. Not one green screen, not one. Well, obviously they didn't really have CGI at this time, but there are no green screens in this movie, which I thought was pretty cool considering.
Yeah, with the amount of like the dogfights, all of the high end, like even just to film some of that stuff. Yeah. I mean, they must have had military people that were involved in the filmmaking. I mean, I don't know, but
they did. I don't think I brought, but they did. They had to, ask the military and stuff for permission and all this stuff. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
Do you know, was Tom, I mean, this is pretty early on in his career, was he doing a lot of the...
So the only thing that I have here was that, it's my second fact. I don't have a ton, but for this, Anthony Edwards, Goose, was the only actor who did not vomit while flying in the F-14s. Tom Cruise, however, did struggle with the air sickness while he was filming the F-14 flight scenes. Yeah. I mean, maybe as he got older, he got so used to it or whatever, but yeah, he had a hard time with it at first, according to reports.
Yeah, it's just like that whole phenomenon of like G-forces and all that kind of stuff is pretty wild. And I know, recently we had the return to the moon. Yeah. And so like some of those, launching into space and the G-forces and all that.
On the return was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. 4.5 or something crazy. It may be more than that. I don't know. Yeah. But I know we talked recently about there's the Disney ride.
Mission Space.
Yeah. And you have the 2 options of the light version or the let's feel some G-forces. Yeah. And both of our kids, like I think they were 7 or 8 when we went, and my daughter especially, she did not like the G-force because it was pretty intense for a kid's ride. But
I was close to using, because they have air sickness bags.
Yeah,
I was close.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame, but the older I get, like even on roller coasters, like I would always feel that like dip in my stomach and stuff. But now it's like it gets worse as you get older. I hate it. I'm like, man.
I have to swear, I really don't do roller coasters anymore. Yeah. I just can't. Not because I'm, whatever. Just I don't want to feel sick for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I went on Expedition Everest in Walt Disney World. Did you go on that?
Yeah.
That is an amazing roller coaster.
It was really cool.
I was so sick, I had to go like lay down on a bench, and they had to get me cold water to put on my head, because I was like, I just felt so dizzy and disoriented, and I thought I was gonna throw up. It was awful. Yeah. I'm like, as cool as the roller coaster was, it's not worth feeling sick for an hour or 2 afterwards. So
yeah.
I'm old.
It's getting old things so fast. So let's see, what else do we have here on Top Gun? We have it on as we're recording, and it just reminds me of how fun it was. I mean, there were other movies that had this Iron Eagle we've talked about before.
Love Iron Eagle.
other
fighter movies and
yeah. So any other cool facts that you had from this one?
John Travolta was the first choice to play Maverick.
Huh. Interesting.
How interesting would that have been? Yeah.
Because that was sort of during his like down period where he wasn't.
Was he at the or was it? Because I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think it had to have been.
Because Saturday Night Fever had to be
82,
like earlier.
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about how he was considered Hollywood poison.
Yes, maybe that's they just
this might have still been part of that era for him.
Yeah.
Wow. And Val Kilmer. I mean, he's he had a pretty fun career.
He did. Yeah.
It's a shame how his.
Is he still alive?
No. Well, he was in Maverick, and shortly thereafter he passed away.
He did. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So.
It was kind of a downer.
That is a downer. I had no idea. Did you ever see the movie Top Secret?
Yeah. We should do a review of that.
That's a good one.
Chocolate mousse.
I know a little German.
It probably is not at, like the political correctness meter is probably off the charts on that one. But yeah, it was, as a kid, that was a great movie.
Loved it. Yeah. So is this in the vein of
like the
Naked Guns and Airplane?
Yeah.
I only have one other fact. Do you have any facts?
I don't have any
facts. Famed stunt pilot Art Scholl died during production while attempting to capture an inverted spin shot crashing into the Pacific Ocean.
Holy cow.
That was pretty messed up.
I did not know that.
That's what happens when you go with practical effects.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for Top Gun?
I don't think so. I mean,
you just like men playing volleyball on the beach?
I think it's interesting, though, that they obviously it was almost 40 years. It was, I think, last year or the year before that Maverick came out?
Yeah.
They did get a fair number of the original cast. Obviously,
from what
Tom
I heard,
Cruise, being a part of it. But was it Kelly LeBrock? Is that
not Kelly LeBrock?
It was Kelly anyway, the actress who played the love interest,
Kelly something.
I remember her being like interviewed. She was out of acting for a long time.
Yeah.
She's just like, that's let someone else do it. I don't, it's not who I am.
Which kind of is amazing that it's great for Kelly to recognize that and say, you know what, no thanks. But also to kind of reflect on Tom Cruise, how he's still doing it. And, like he's still in shape. He's still, doing these crazy stunts. I mean, good for him. He's got to be, 60? He's got to be. Up there. So good for Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and it was Kelly McGillis.
That's it. Yep. Oh, and one other fun fact that I just remembered when I was talking about the beach scene with the guys. Yeah. That was just a ad-libbed kind of thing. Oh, yeah. They were just fooling around playing volleyball, and they just said, let's roll with it, and then they added it into the movies. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was Jennifer Connelly. That's who they cast as
Connelly. The love interest.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you have any other movies that were from?
Two that were just okay. Cobra with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, I remember that movie.
Remember Cobra?
Yeah.
It was very violent, though.
Yeah.
It was dark. It was a dark movie, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Poltergeist 2 came out.
Did you see it?
I didn't. I probably did as a kid, but I couldn't tell you one thing about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I never saw it.
Okay. And then one of this is like the trifecta of May of 1986, one of my all-time favorite movies, Big Trouble in Little China.
I have a very vivid memory of being over at my neighbor's house. Okay. Sitting on the floor, the 25-inch Zenith console TV.
Oh, yeah.
And watching that movie and just being like what is going on? Like, it was amazing, but at the same time, back then I didn't know the word dysregulated, but I'm pretty sure I left this house being dysregulated. Like, what did I just watch?
You see the truck, and then he's in Chinatown, and there's these lightning guys, and there's weird blob flying in the air.
It was so amazing.
I absolutely love that movie. I got a quick funny story about it. Like when my twins, I think they were 13 or 14, they had a bunch of friends over. And it was, I don't know if it was a birthday party or just to hang out. And I said, all right, they're looking kind of well, we're trying to find a movie to watch. I'm like, I got the movie for you guys. I put on Big Trouble in Little China, and I'm like, these kids are going to come to me in an hour and a half. They're like, that was awesome. 20 minutes later, I find out they just left and went into the basement and stopped the movie. I was like, what is happening? How do you not like this movie? They're like, it was dumb. I'm like, oh, man.
Well, I think we have another one to add to the list that we're going to have to rewatch because I have not seen it in a long time. Have you seen it recently?
I don't think not that long ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see. In my mind, it still is amazing, but we'll see how it holds up.
So crazy, like you said. Yeah, fantastic movie.
Yeah, and I have to think that was probably one of Kurt Russell's, if not his first movie, like one of his first movies.
I think when I was
Escape from L.A. or
before
Escape from New York. Was that before?
Yeah, I think it was before.
Okay.
I think, but this was the one where he was just the main lead.
Yeah,
and he was. I think I was trying to find some fun facts, but I ran out of time.
Yeah.
But if we do a movie review, and he was nervous. This was his first lead. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Escape from New York was before this.
Yeah. Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah, some great movies there.
Yeah, it's a good time.
We could do just like a 3 quick movie review, just to go Top Gun, whatever, and just kind of run through them.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Cool. So we want to do a little TV from May of 86?
I do. I thought of, before you look at the screen, Tim, I have a game we could play.
Okay.
All right. There were, and I've mentioned this before, the number of Private Eye TV shows in the 80s were crazy. And not only were there 1,000 of them, but they were all partners.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Somebody and somebody. Tim and Greg, Treg and Gim, right? Like they were throwing them. So the question for you is, I'm going to read a couple here. You tell me, was it the word and, or was it the ampersand sign?
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see.
See how many had the ampersand and how many used the word and.
All right.
So
I got 50-50 shot
50-50 shot here, right?
All right.
All right. Hardcastle and McCormick.
I'm going ampersand.
Correct.
All right.
Nicely done. You keep track. I'm not going to keep track for you.
I got one.
All right. Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Oof. I'm going and.
Very good. Wow.
Oh,
dude,
2 for 2.
Fire. Kate and Allie. Not a detective, but still two names.
Still a partner.
Yeah.
Kate and Allie. I'm going and.
Sorry.
Ampersand.
Yeah.
All right. 2 and 1.
Cagney and Lacey.
And.
No.
Ampersand.
All right. I think I got. Okay. This one you're going to get. I know you're getting this one. Simon and Simon.
That's ampersand.
Very good. Okay. And I think that's all I have for today. But every time we do this, we'll collect them. And
so basically, I should have just done ampersand for all of them, except for one. That's funny.
Good stuff right there, Tim.
All right. So on a Monday night, it was all. That was Monday night.
That was Monday night, right?
Hardcastle, McCormick, Scarecrow, and Mrs. King, Kate and Allie, Cagney and Lacey, and
Newhart.
Yeah, Daryl, my other brother, Daryl.
I wonder if that's an ampersand.
Yeah. That's funny. All right.
On Tuesday, it was Who's the Boss, Growing Pains, Moonlighting, and The A-Team.
Awesome.
Love Tuesday nights.
I was just watching the A-Team last night.
Yeah. How bad is it?
It was awesome. They were on like a luxury boat that was like a masquerade party.
Yeah.
And Murdoch was he had like a sheet on, like he was a ghost. He knocked somebody out and is just dragging him through the party. It's like sunny, middle of the day. He's just dragging the guy. His feet are hanging out the back of the ghost costume, and everyone's just dancing and partying like nothing's happening. I'm like, 80s television.
I loved how they would get captured every week and locked up in a garage full of equipment that they could build.
Yeah.
Like some kind of steel. Yeah. It was great.
Classic. All right. On a Wednesday, we had MacGyver, Dynasty, and Highway to Heaven.
Not bad.
Yep.
Thursday was Ripley's Believe It or Not, Simon and Simon, Knots Landing, The Cosby Show, Family Ties, Cheers, Night Court, a little favorite there, and Hill Street Blues.
Nice. On Friday, we had Webster, Dallas, the return of Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Falcon Crest, Knight Rider, and Miami Vice.
I mean, the TV nowadays doesn't have a third of these good shows.
No.
Saturday, we had Benson, The Love Boat, Crazy Like a Fox, Airwolf, Magnum P.I., Gimme a Break, The Facts of Life, The Golden Girls, and of course, the guy whose name I can never remember, in Remington Steele.
Pierce Brosnan.
There you go. Are you sure? That's not Pierce Brosnan. It's the other guy. Wait a minute.
We need to go back like 25 episodes because this conversation is going to be exactly the same.
All right, I'll trust you.
You going to look it up?
I'm going to trust you.
Right.
It's Pierce Brosnan.
I'm pretty sure it's Pierce Brosnan.
Okay.
And on Sunday, we had The Wonderful World of Disney, 60 Minutes, and Murder, She Wrote.
Nice.
and I have to look it up because I'm so confident that I'm probably wrong.
And the answer is?
Remington Steele is an American detective fiction television series co-created by blah, 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 starring Stephanie Zimbalist and one Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, okay. All right. I stand corrected for the third time.
We'll do this again in episode 28. That's funny.
That's good stuff right there, man.
May of 1986, the pinnacle of human existence.
Only gets worse from here. Can't get enough Latch-Key Dad content? Well, check out latchkeydads.com.
That's right, Greg. On our website, we've got a plethora of photos from each episode, as well as other interesting links to content that we talk about on the show.
Yeah, Tim, I really enjoy all the pictures that you put up there, as they really bring the episode home.
Yeah, I guess I'm not afraid to show those embarrassing photos of my childhood. So, yeah, we encourage you to check out the website, latchkeydads.com, for all that content.
Excellent. And if you have a moment, check out our shop page where we've got really cool keychains for sale. If you don't know what to get your dad for Christmas, the holidays, Father's Day, birthday, check it out. It's a cool gift. Tim, did you know that listeners should like, review, and subscribe to the Latch-Key Dads podcast?
No. But now I know.
No,
Knowing is half the battle.